But
Oh, yeah.
this is giving you an idea. Mark designed it with the help of Megan.
Thank you, Mark and Megan.
Even though Megan's not here, we're gonna thank
Yeah.
her anyway. But yeah, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. I am super excited. I cannot wait for these things to come out. We're still waiting to hear from the t-shirt lady on what the estimate is going to be. But if she doesn't get back to me soon, we're going to go with a different company because I want these shirts. They're going to be awesome. All right. Is everybody ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. Welcome, writing team. Welcome to the realm of creative writing for Eagle Chess Knockout. We are the brains behind the team. We are the story creators. And after last week's meeting, I decided to develop a plan and a formula as to how we're going to write the episodes from this point. There has been a lot of discussion and disagreements about how we were writing them. And I have a plan, and I would like for my team to follow it. So that being said, I'm going to be using my share screen here. Can everybody see my share screen?
That's a little small. Could you zoom in?
Zoom in on it.
Yeah, remember, I have a 720p monitor, and I'm sitting across the way from it.
Is that bigger? Is that better?
I can now read it. Yes, thank you.
Okay, everybody can see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I have decided to create an official episode Bible that we are going to follow echo-religiously, if anybody caught that joke. Verbatim. Okay, so we were talking about the different stories that everyone wanted to tell and incorporate into the show to make season 2 great. You all should be aware now that we have added 2 cast members to our team who will be taking on new roles. And we also lost a cast member. Sad to say, Elijah left, but it wasn't due to him not liking anyone in the group. He just felt like he was done. So that's perfectly fine. But we're very happy to welcome Sam and Chris, and I think that they're going to do great. I'm excited to be working with them. Stefan does have another acting session to kind of get them acclimated into the group, and also so that we can kind of mix them into the team. And I believe I'll double check the calendar, but I do believe that that is March the 27th. For the cast members who are listening in that are not part of this meeting, but I will double check the calendar. So that being said, this is what I would like to do. I've actually got all the names of the different episodes that I want to write about, and each one tells a different portion of the story that I want to tell about. So we all remember episode 8. That was the very first episode that we recorded. We are going to be redoing that episode. Part of the reason is because we do have 2 cast members. So it would kind of be silly, like going in halfway to have 2 new people just take over the role. It would confuse our audience, I think. But if we redo this, first off, it's going to give us a better story because I want to re-edit the 2 episodes that we've already done. And it's going to flow better. It's going to tell the story better. So episode 8 is going to be the Dream Pond's mirror shatters. And of course, we all know why the Dream Pond's mirror shatters, right? So they're fighting over the mirror, the Dark Chess Master's inside, and then when it shatters, it releases him. But now because the mirror was shattered when he was released, he is now stuck in the mirror realm. He uses that to his advantage to try to find the flower that he was using to drain Chessiterri's energy. And he tries to attack her in her dream world, and he becomes unsuccessful. And in this episode, he then recruits the Dark Echo team to find the ultimate power. I don't know if I'm going to be doing too much editing with number 8. There might be a few things I want to change, but there's not going to be a whole lot of changes coming to episode 8. I feel like that's really the only one that's really kind of set. All right. So And then episode 9, the first key appears. There was some debate about how we were gonna do the keys. I'm still kind of debating about whether or not if we're gonna keep the monsters or if we're gonna remove them, and whether or not if maybe we just know that people are born with keys and Chestarians are born with keys, and somewhere there are going to be like 7 keys of darkness, and we're going to create episodes where one time the dark echo team will win the key and another time the light echo team will win the key. We know that in this episode Heather is going to be the first target for the key. All right, so episode 10, Rod's magical harmonica.
Well, I didn't object to the original title. I just thought I would point out that the harmonica was not magical, in case you wanted to change it for that reason.
Okay. Then, okay, for the time being, we will keep it Rod and Emma's magical journey. Okay. So the next episode is going to be episode 11, where we're going to talk about Chessiterry's first high school crush. I decided that we're going to use that one scene that I wanted Dawn to write in episode 10. We're going to move it to episode 11. We'll do the editing later for it. Okay. But basically, I just wanted to dedicate like an entire episode talking about Chessiterry's crush. This is also an opportunity to recreate that audition scene for those who are part of it. When Mr. Williams and Dr. Knockout go on the date, Mr. Williams finds out about this crush. He's not happy about it. There's a whole entire storyline that we can put in, and a few funnies where maybe Blake is kind of like, you know, sneaking behind the wall, trying to, you know, peep in on Dr. Knockout and Mr. Williams' date because they're wondering they're talking about. So there's some good funny moments I think that we could have, and there's a lot of fun we could have following this episode. That for this particular one, there is always also that debate as to whether or not if the Echo team would somehow be captured in this episode, and then it follows the next episode where Mark goes into his episode where the Earth Pawn makes her appearance and she's going to save everybody. Brenna. But she's not. Yeah, the Earth Pawn's going to save everybody.
Yay!
Request.
What?
Request. Change the title to Promotion on Planet Pawn.
But that's not what the story's about. I have to keep the main idea. It has to be about the Earth Pawn.
Fine, it has to be about the Earth Pawn, but that's kind of spoiler territory, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I mean, fans won't figure that out.
I mean, I kind of agree with Mark on that one.
Well, we can discuss about that later. Go on to episode 13. Explain what episode 13 is.
Okay. So episode 13 is going to be the Light Chess Master returning. So this particular episode is going to be about Mr. Williams, you know, watching the Light Echo team, and he's training them and he's talking to them about their powers. And, you know, this one's saying, oh yeah, my powers are super cool because I have like the gift of super speed. You know, they're all excited about being warriors at this point, and they're just enjoying the journey. And, you know, Mr. Williams is feeling kind of left out. Well, now that the Earth Pawn has appeared and Heather has become the Earth Pawn, which when you think about it, that's not really a spoiler because it doesn't say who the Earth Pawn is. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
So Dr. Knockout is going to tell the Echo team, well, there's a way that we can help Mr. Williams get his powers back, and he is going to make an appearance during the fight in this episode for the very first time. And the Light Chess Master they're going to create a master they're going to use their elemental shifters to create a master key, but only masters can use the keys. And since Mr. Williams was the light chess master, he can use the key to become the light chess master. So when he becomes the light chess master, that'll complete the full Light Echo team, all 7 members. And then this episode, Blake, the future king. This is one of the episodes that's gonna kind of be like a foreshadowing of the finale episode. So with this one, Blake is gonna have a dream about King Eagle and Queen Sophia. So they will be returning in this episode. Megan, or Mark, you got to let Megan know that she's got to come back to us as Queen Sophia in this episode. But anyway, so he's going to have a dream, and he's actually going to find out that just like the Dark Chess Master is tucked away in the Shadowlands, so are his parents and some of the other members of Planet Chessitary. And now they're going to try to figure out a way to bring them back. So this is actually going to be like a foreshadowing of a piece of the finale episode. All right. Episode 15, An Evil Princess is Born. So obviously in this episode, this is going to be Chessitary's moment where she gets to play the evil role for a little bit. The Dark Wind Knight is very jealous of this crush that she has on with the Dark Fireheart Prince, and she gets kind of jealous when he pays attention to her. So she's going to find a way to try to kidnap Chessitary herself, and she is going to also figure out a way to convince Rod to make a clone of Chessitary, and she's going to use her powers to make the clone evil. And so that's going to be a fun episode because there's going to be a lot of twists and turns with that episode and a lot of confusion if we pull that one off right. Episode 16, The Wind Knights Working Together. So in this episode, David gets to shine a little bit. Oliver, I know you'll be happy about that. This will be a David episode. So in this particular episode, what I want to do is explore the world of David's history and his origin. And, he figures out that the Dark Wind Knight is related to him. And this is also kind of a moment where the Dark Wind Knight is kind of seeing like the light of day. And she's starting to realize that the Dark Chess Master is, has been fooling them this whole entire time. And David convinces her to join the Light Echo team and make her not evil anymore.
Okay, that sounds cool.
All right, episode 17, Emma's Fear of Swimming. So in this particular episode, what I want to do with this one's going to obviously shine the Water Rook a little bit because I love exploring the Water Rook's character. We didn't really talk much about it except for maybe with a glimpse of like episode 3 and 4. So in this particular episode, she's going to overcome her fear of swimming, and there will be like some type of obstacle that she has to face. And this may be one of the episodes where the Light Echo team gets the key because Emma finds it in the water or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for that episode.
Dibs on 17.
Dibs on 17. All right. So this is going to lead to I think I did have a different, well, that's right. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. Yeah, 19 was left out.
All right. So this is going to lead to our first part of the finale episode. Chessitary loses the ultimate power. So the Dark Chess Master is starting to realize at this point that the Dark Echo team is starting to turn on him. And so he tricks them somehow by getting them to drink a potion that turns them back. And now they're evil again. Okay, with the exception of the Dark Fireheart Prince. So the Dark Fireheart Prince was not part of that conversation, but at this point, even though he's kind of suspected that the stuff that the Dark Chess Master is telling them is not 100% true, he's not completely turned just yet. So, but he's contemplating things like, you know, how could this girl who I'm supposed to kill like be so evil and that kind of thing. So in this particular one, this is going to be my idea where Chessitary and Mr. Williams have that big disagreement, and Mr. Williams tries to make up a reason to ground Chessitary, and she gets mad and upset. She sneaks out of the house without him knowing, and she goes to the Dark Fireheart Prince. He tries to tell her to go back. Chessitary is upset and not happy about that. And then when she is alone, this is when the Dark Echo team is going to kidnap her. We're going to figure out some way to kill her. And then when she dies, she's going to lose the ultimate power. Hence the title, Chessitary loses the ultimate power. That will be left on a cliffhanger at that point. So episode 19, the ultimate darkness appears. So after all the keys have been collected, the Dark Echo team manages to get all 7 keys at this point. The Light Echo team loses the keys that they have after a conversation. And the Dark Chess Master gains the ultimate darkness to become free from the Shadowlands or from the mirror world. And then he is back in control at this point. Now, when he gets back into control at this point, the Dark Echo team and the Light Echo team are realizing that they have to work together. This is when everything comes together and they realize we all have to work together. This is when the Dark Fireheart Prince is going to sacrifice himself to save Chessitary. He's going to die in her place so that the balance of the world is restored. And I did actually forget this one, episode 20. Okay, that's what happened. I don't know why that one got deleted. Okay, so episode 20, the Dark Fireheart Prince is reborn. So in this particular episode, what I want to do with this episode is obviously the after the balance of the world is restored, there is rules of self-sacrifice. And now that Queen Sophia and King Eagle are back on planet Chessitary after they've been released in the finale episode, or this one's kind of like a prequel episode. I would still kind of consider episode 19 as the finale. But in this one, the Dark Fireheart Prince is allowed to come back because he sacrificed himself, and there are rules of self-sacrifice on planet Chessitary. And so he comes back, but now he has no memory of anything that happened. And so his ultimate goal at this point is to kill Chessitary, and it is now up to everyone to kind of snap him out of that and say, hey, you were fooled, you know, that kind of thing. So that's going to be a fun episode. Anyway, that's all I got for the time being. I think this is a good thing to go by. Does anyone have any questions, concerns? Is there an episode that stands out aside from Mark that they feel like that they would want to write or get involved in?
Well, I like the fact that you listened to my suggestion about episode 12 coming after a that's sort of, it's almost a mid-season type thing with the timing of it.
I guess, yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah.
And the other thing that I like the idea of trying to write out all the episodes so that we can have a majority of episodes written before we get to the recording, so that we can record on a more regular basis and get this thing out for at least for the recording sessions, so that we don't have to be Eagle Chess Knockout voice actors for the next 9 years.
Yeah.
Which one are you most excited about?
For me personally, honestly, like, I know it's not like one of Chessitary's episodes, but I'm kind of excited about seeing the Light Chess Master return. Like, I think Stefan is going to have so much fun with that because, like, he's so used to playing the Dark Chess Master, so we'll see what he does differently, I think, with the Light Chess Master.
Okay.
Which one are you excited? Well, we probably know the answer to that, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Which one are you excited about?
I am very excited about the Earth Pawn episode, but I'm also excited to see the Emma episode with swimming. I think that that's a really interesting concept for her to be water rook and afraid to swim.
Yes, that's going to be a fun episode. I think Valerie is going to have fun recording that episode.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I volunteered to do that is because I drowned as a child, so I know what that kind of fear is like.
Oh.
So I can write from a place of authenticity on the subject.
What about you, Don? Which one are you excited about?
Gosh, they all sound so wonderful. I don't know how I could pick one out.
You can pick one out, just one. I think it'll be fun to play an evil Chessitary. That'll be a fun episode. What about you, Oliver?
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with David's episode.
And that's kind of what I wanted to do. Like, I want to give it a balance and give each character kind of like their own episode. So that way, like, no one feels left out and everyone kind of has a moment to shine. And it also gives them like an opportunity to grow as characters and develop as characters. And I think that we need a little bit more character development that we really didn't have in season 1. And that's kind of why I want to explore that, explore, okay, maybe Emma can actually overcome this obstacle of not being able to swim, or, David finding out, oh, okay, so we're cousins, and giving him a moment where he gets to help the Dark Water Rook just for a moment. And maybe also, brings a little bit more light for the Dark Echo team, which gives them more reason to say, hey, maybe the Dark Chess Master really is lying to us. These things need to be pointed out. I like the idea of Rod and Emma finally getting an episode, because we're all shipping Emma and Rod. I'm excited about that. How's that fan fiction coming, by the way, Brenna?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I will say this is not really an episode, but I'm very much looking forward to meeting and working with the new cast members and seeing what they do with the parts. I'll miss Elijah. I thought he was so funny and just,
I know. I'm gonna miss.
He has that like teen angst sound to his voice.
Yes, he does. All right.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard the new guy, what he sounds like, but
he was. What was ironic about it is that, like, when we were in that audition room, the only people who saw it was me, Dawn, and Stefan. But no, I can't. No, I don't think Kira was there because we sent her back.
Kira left.
Yeah, that's right. That's the only audition I think she didn't get to see. But what was ironic about it is that he said that he had been practicing the voice, and like I specifically told the people who are auditioning, I want you guys to watch the episodes, but I don't want you to watch them like before the auditions if you haven't seen it already, just simply because I didn't want anyone to like mimic Elijah, I wanted him to come up with their own Blake, like still something that was kind of like the vibe of, hey, this is the Dark Fireheart Prince, but also kind of brought their own voice at the same time. And what was weird is like, in some way, like it wasn't 100%, but in some ways he kind of had a similar style to
Okay.
Elijah's voice. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, do we want to go with someone who sounds like Elijah, or do we want to go with someone who's going to make Blake kind of different and maybe show some growth for season 2? And Stefan was like, the fans aren't going to relate to that because then they're going to want the rest of the characters to sound different. I was like, that's a good point. And the fact that he lives in Alabama helps too. So it just so happens that we cast someone in Alabama. And then the other person that we brought on, Chris, he lives in Indianapolis. I want to say, like, where's that close? That's on the it's like closer to like Pennsylvania and New York and Ohio, isn't it?
Closer to Chicago and Ohio, yes.
Yeah, like up in there. He's in that area.
He would now be the closest cast member to me.
Yes, you have a cast member that's close to you.
I have no cast members that are close to me, so ha.
Actually, he would also be the closest cast member to you as well, Oliver.
It's okay.
Don't take that away from me. Don't do that.
328 miles by the flight of the bird.
But he's not a bird. He's a man.
I'm talking about raw distance. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Has everybody had
747. Okay.
Has everybody had an opportunity to pull up the email? I sent it to everybody.
Oh, Oliver, what's her name is near you?
I don't
It's
know what's
closer to you.
Who is, what's her name?
The Dark Wind Knight.
Kira lives in Virginia. She's closer to me.
Yeah, it's
Virginia
is
is
the
North
closest.
Carolina touch.
Yes, but Virginia in this particular case is closer than Indianapolis. So therefore, that's Oliver's closest
Oh, okay.
cast member.
I gotcha. Well, no, because Connecticut is New York. I remember that because I had to drive through New York. All right, guys. So if there is nothing else, this meeting is adjourned. I want to thank everybody for showing up.
Good night,
All right.
everyone.
Good night.
Night,
Good
guys.
night, Don. Good night, Brenna. Good night, Oliver. Good night, Ginger.
Good night. Well, Mark, I'll probably call you later.
Enjoy your supper, though.
I was having a what's it called moment where I say goodnight to everyone in the house before I go to sleep.
Little House on the Prairie. Is that what?
No, the Waltons.
Walton. Ah,